Welcome to the ExecMBA podcast. I'm your host, Brett Twitty, and you're listening to a new episode. On this episode of the podcast, I'm excited to share my recent conversation with Shilpa Kyarla. Shilpa is a second-year student in our Executive MBA class of 2025, and she and I recently connected to talk more about her background, her decision to pursue an MBA, what led her to Darden, the impact of her experience in the program so far, and much more. I think you're really going to enjoy this conversation. And as always, if this conversation is helpful for you, please like this episode and subscribe to the ExecMBA podcast so you never miss an update. And remember, you can always check the episode description for links to Darden blogs, social channels, and more. And now, without further ado, here's my conversation with Shilpa Kyarla. Shilpa, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Brett. Thank you. I'm happy to be here and happy to chat with you today.
Yeah, it's great speaking with you. It's a great day. It's a beautiful day here in Roslyn. I'm in the office. We're in the midst of part-time MBA October 1 round interviews. We'll be doing executive MBA October 10 round interviews in the next week or so. So busy time. October is always a very full month here in admissions.
Oh my God. I am thinking about the journey that I had, how I was thinking about applying to Darden and how quick it went by and how quick it went by after joining. I'm already 1 year into it. So it's pretty exciting. Yeah.
Yeah, I think when people are on the outside looking in, they think, gosh, 21 months, it sounds like a long time. But then when you get into it, it moves very, very quickly. And after you finish the core, electives really fly by. I think it really surprises people when they get to LR2, they're like, I can't believe I'm already here at the very end of the program.
Absolutely. I think we are all at this point in a very we don't know whether we are going to be happy ending this program in the next 8 months, or we are sad about leaving the program because of the way it runs you through and then it changes you. So many things to get from it. We are all confused.
Well, Shilpa, thank you for taking time for the podcast. Let's start with just getting to know you a little bit more. So tell us more about who you are, your background, what you do currently, all of these kinds of things.
I was born and raised in southern India, came to do my master's in computer science in Chicago. I lived in California for 16 years, and now I'm based in DC. I'm a mom of 2 girls, and I'm the ultimate problem solver in my house, I should say. From my work front, I'm a product manager. My latest role was with FinBuy, where I worked alongside an amazing team, building a new SaaS product. My work experience spans across like media and entertainment, banking industries. Whenever I say media and entertainment, I kind of vividly remember the times I worked in the Nakatomi Tower. I don't know if you remember the movie Die Hard. It was shot there. And it was a very fun experience being on the sets of a movie production where you can see the actors walking with their costumes, having lunch with you. Pretty good. Pretty much. It's been a great journey in Los Angeles. Then I moved to Northern California, where I lived in San Francisco Bay Area, worked in the downtown, and eventually moved to DC.
It's not every day we get to talk about Die Hard. Controversial. Is it a Christmas movie or not? That's a lot of people like to argue about whether it actually qualifies as a holiday movie because John McClane is going to a holiday party when German terrorists intervene. So they're at Nakatomi Plaza.
Nakatomi Plaza. Yeah.
Well, great movie nonetheless. So I did not realize that. Thank you for sharing that. So how did you decide that you wanted to pursue an MBA?
I guess I started thinking about MBA. I have thought about it for so long, I should say. It's been on my mind. My dad pursued MBA and he wanted me to pursue also early in my career. And just to learn all the aspects of business. And he started his own business too, a small business. And my grandfather was an entrepreneur. So I have seen him working through a factory and going through that line of work. He's been a great inspiration. The year of COVID is when I started following up on applications with another university in the West Coast. But I had to pause that until after COVID. And at the same time, moved out of California to Virginia. And after coming here, I had the urge to get my MBA journey. So I started following up again in the universities in this area. And that led me to Darden, I should say. Yeah.
What is it about Darden that appealed to you? What is it that sparked your interest?
Yeah, I think when I was researching multiple colleges around Virginia, my main goal was to meet people in person and not to do a completely remote program, learn along with them. I was also looking for a top program in this region, and Darden definitely stood out in its ranking around here. And I think the emphasis on the case method at Darden kind of sets it apart. Students are expected to engage actively. I really love talking to people and, talking about real business scenarios kind of enhances your critical thinking, in my opinion, and decision making. It kind of makes you bold as a leader. I think those um, interactive discussions, it kind of mirrors the real world business scenarios too, encouraging us to, practically learn and listen to your peers. That kind of led me to Darwin, I should say. And then after that, it's all history. It's been great.
So one of the things I think it's important for prospective students to hear is how long people think about taking this step before they actually take this step. I was listening to you tell your story. Obviously, it sounds like you may have applied to another program and then for a variety of reasons didn't work out. You ended up moving here to the East Coast, researching programs here, eventually ended up at Darden. But how long do you think you thought about an MBA before you actually took the step and matriculated at Darden?
That's a great question. I think I have been thinking at least for 5 years, I should say. Honestly, I think COVID kind of put all our lives on pause for 3 years at least, I would say. And then after coming here, I just couldn't get over the fact that I haven't started it. And I'm right now being in Virginia, I felt like Rosslyn was so close to my home. And, I'm not compromising too many things in doing this program. And yet I can still, it's reachable, it's doable. The executive program is amazing. It hit all the bullet points on my list, and then I just had to do it. I'm not going to go without doing it. I'm that kind of person. I have it on my list, and I just had to check it off. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no perfect time to do an executive MBA program. I think that's one of the things that you kind of have to accept. Would you agree with that?
I would definitely agree with that. There is no perfect time. I know many people in my own circle who wants to do it. They ask me, do I have to do it? I would ask them, why not? What are you waiting for, really? There is no absolute time, and it is perfect whenever you want to do it. And, just make sure the program works for you, what you're looking from the program. I guess, what is attractive between several programs. Do your research, go ahead, find what resonates with you. In my case, I think the case method was pretty good for me. And I really wanted to be close to the university. I think Charlottesville and Rosslyn campus definitely, and UVA definitely stood out. So it just hit the points that I wanted to do. And I would definitely encourage anybody who wants to do it. Please don't wait.
Yeah, it's hard for us as admissions folks to help people understand what the time commitment will look like. I think a lot of people think about, man, I'm really busy right now. How could I possibly add school to this? But the reality is, everybody in our executive MBA program is really busy. They have very full lives, demanding careers, they have families, all kinds of commitments, and they make it work. I feel like your life just conforms to school, or school kind of figure out a way to make it work. How did you figure out the time commitment?
You do figure out the time. I think I should talk a little bit about the executive MBA format. What is incredibly unique about it, it offers the best of both worlds to you. You get to meet in person, you build relationships and network, while also having the flexibility of taking the evening classes. This blend makes it so easy to connect with peers, professional, and balancing your work and personal life. I think that's spread across the on-grounds residencies in Rosslyn, and where you meet in person once a month, Friday to Sunday. And after you attend the classes, you attend these career and networking sessions that allows you to meet all these senior executives, hear about their journeys, engage in informal discussions. And I think this is all something that you don't do just studying remotely, I would say. Right? This is a combination that this executive MBA program gives you. At the same time, the virtual evening classes, they offer a fantastic balance. I would think they'll allow you to manage your work, family, and studies. I myself have two girls who have classes in the evening. So, there is a balance that me and my husband played. We have learned it. I guess it creates an interactive learning environment in the house too, as with the time management, I should say. We are completely learning from each other, and we have adjusted ourselves. Time management has been a bit of a struggle, I should say, the first year. And I think you're kind of juggling a lot of things with school and family life, but it's still very adaptive. You're not like struggling. You go through this phase of where you learn to manage it effectively. I should say you're very intentional with your time on what you want to do, how you want to achieve. So I think everybody played along in the house, and it's just they're very glad that I'm wrapping up in a year. That's where the mixed feeling comes in. I'm very sad that it's ending. I think it is a little bit of a juggle with time management, but the EMBA program is definitely a balance. EMBA being under 2 years and meeting in person people, right? It's amazing. I would definitely ask people to check out the EMBA program.
Yeah, it's 21 months. It's about the same. It's the same duration as our full-time MBA program. Now, the schedule is different. Once you start class in August, you'll have essentially continuous school for the next 21 months, whereas our full-time MBA students will have things like a fall break, a spring break. They'll have the summer off to go do an internship. That's not part of the executive MBA student journey. So figuring out how to manage your time, but also to manage your energy over those 21 months. That is something that you absolutely have to think about. How have you navigated that? Because obviously you've got family commitments, you've got work as well as school.
Yeah. So I think one thing was it's definitely all about planning and prioritization in some ways. You make it a habit to plan a week ahead of time. You use the combination of the tools that you can, a digital tools, a good old fashioned like a planner book or anything that you can prioritize what you want to get done this week, and then you also look at when you can maximize yourself. Maybe you can take a weekend, a half a day in the weekend just to help you get through some of the things that you're not able to get through. And the virtual sessions are amazing. I think Zoom, completely engaging with your learning teams to maximize wherever you can learn. Then you also have this support system that comes across for you, which you unknowingly, you don't know that, but your friends, your family, they all come to support you in some way. Your household responsibilities are spread across. It's amazing how everybody will help you through this process. I also think the on-ground residencies are very good because in a way, the career center is something that you can leverage. So it's not just balancing your house and your work, but also it's like stretching your studies in a way that you can effectively use all of the components of the program. And I guess you are pretty flexible. You've got to be a little bit flexible in flexing where you want to flex and adapt yourself as you go. And nevertheless, you also have find time to take care of yourself and have some downtime. I think the global residency was one of the greatest downtimes I had right now while learning. At the same time, I think the weekend residencies that we do, the on-ground residency Crosslyn is also great to network and make new friendships. I think I think of it like my own downtime, in a way, making friends and bonding with them and learning about their families, their lives. It's you could do this. I am doing it with 2 kids and I had a full-time job, so I do feel like everybody can manage their time and you will become very effective with it.
Just outside looking in, it feels like it comes down to priorities and thinking about where you want to put your time and energy. Every student will answer those questions differently, but it really does come down to what are your priorities? What are you prioritizing as you go through the program? What would you say your priorities have been, Shilpa?
My priorities have been, I think, getting through. In the beginning of first year, I think I was more looking forward how to balance my work because my work was very intense at that time and how to get through these classes. And I think one thing that I wanted to do was with the case method, I wanted to be prepared because when you come prepared, you are actually not just helping yourself, but you're helping your peers too. That was my priority in the beginning of the program, just getting through the cases and learning with the learning teams. The second priority that I thought was like, how to balance your family life too. My husband took care of a lot of things for me. I think eventually my kids is when they start feeling that I'm not spending time with them. I think I started seeing where I can pitch in with them. And that's where I kind of brought that balance to my life on how I should kind of balance the work life with family picture in between. Yeah.
I appreciate that. Was your learning team helpful to you as you navigated the core? Everybody in our
Yes.
programs
Yes,
has
in
a.
the beginning, it was very helpful for all of us to go through these cases. And I think we would split our cases between the seven of us we were, and how we would set up these Zoom calls and go through them. I think eventually, when everybody started traveling, it kind of it didn't work out so much. But naturally, you form another group or another peer who's interested in teaching you in that case, who has done that Excel work or anything that they can do with the, they will kind of, there nobody hesitates to teach you. So there is a whole team pretty much looking for you. So I think all of them come together. You just have to ask for help. There is somebody always trying to help you, and you'll get through it. Yeah.
So the core curriculum at Darden is very structured in terms of your schedule. You have once a month weekend residency. You have online class on Tuesday and Thursday evenings from 7 to 8:30 p.m. That's most Tuesdays and Thursdays. You won't have online class the week leading up to a weekend residency. Those weekend residencies are here in Roslyn, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, Friday. Classes start around noon. Sunday, you wrap up around 3. But you're now in the elective period, and schedules can really vary during the elective period, depending upon the electives that students choose and kind of where they are in terms of their credit counts as they work towards the 60 credits required for graduation. So, what's your schedule look like here? What classes are you taking?
So the next quarter, so the previous quarter, I should say, I took only 2 courses that worked out for me. I started looking into entrepreneurship. The next quarter, I have some interesting electives, and I'm going for 4 of them this time. So it's going to be pretty loaded. I have a pricing that I've taken. I've taken starting new ventures by Saras. I've also taken mergers and acquisitions by Michael Ho, and I've also taken our Yale's course, which I couldn't miss, which is project management. I do have a pretty intense next quarter. I should also say I'm also looking forward to my GCP initiative that I'm going to pursue. It's going to be a little bit of a challenge. I do not have Friday classes, but I do have Saturday and Sunday, and then I have the rest of them as a Zoom classes. So which is good. So I don't have to come in on Friday. I can use that time too. It's playing a balance between the schedule itself. I appreciate the new schedule, although I'm trying to take a little bit more than I can. I think it'll be interesting to see how that goes.
Yeah, there's some electives for executive MBA students. There's some electives that meet only on Friday, with obviously an online class component as well. There are also electives that meet on Saturday and Sunday mornings, and there are electives that meet on Saturday and Sunday afternoon. So you can have a variable schedule. So the first year of the program is really sort of a cohort-based part of the program. And then when you get to electives, you will see different classmates perhaps at different times, depending upon your schedule, their schedules. It's a little bit different than sort of what you might think about when you think about a cohort-based lockstep program. You're still all moving towards graduation together as a group, but your schedules will vary during that elective period depending upon the courses that you choose. And I feel like that's been something that's been growing pretty steadily here as the program has evolved over the past couple of years. There's more elective choice than we've ever had. I think you add in the part-time MBA electives that executive MBA students could also choose from, probably somewhere around 13 to 15 electives to choose from in a given elective quarter.
Yeah, I think so. I think there are plenty of them, 13 to 15, and there is executive also. I think we were. It's a split group. You will learn slowly how your cohort is kind of distributed among what they want to major in. There are finance folks, there are strategy folks, there are kind of people who want to go into the tech space. So I think we spread across all of these zones, and it is mostly executives we have taken. I think all of the executive, we are following up like pretty much like Michael Ho's class. He did the FMP2 for us, and we are following up. We loved his class, so we are going to the next session. which is doing M&A. And then there is also, I think, project management, which is kind of everybody's done it, but we didn't want to miss CAA's course. She's pretty amazing at it. So things like that. I think that is everybody is going for either their favorite course or there is something that is they want to do towards their area of expertise that they want to pursue. Yeah.
Yeah, and Darden's a general management program, so no requirement to have a major or concentrate into a particular area. You can choose whatever classes you like when you get to the elective period. As an executive MBA student, you're going to take 12 electives. So you have full reign to kind of pursue whatever your interest might be. So you mentioned your global residency. You just went on a global residency to Finland and Estonia, one of the rare global residencies that's not two cities within the same country, but actually two different countries. You spent time in Helsinki and then Tallinn, Estonia. What was that global residency like?
Global residency, it was amazing. I would have said there's so many amazing moments in the program, but this is one of the special ones that sits with you for a long time. Finland and Estonia, it's a very beautiful place. We had great weather. Finland is ranked as one of the happiest countries in the world, and that's the reason everybody wants to find out why is it so. Just to tell a little bit of the trip, we started our trip in Helsinki, where we explored the city, learned about the Finnish culture, and then we visited the companies. Then we moved to Tallinn in Estonia. It's a very short ferry ride from Helsinki, where we visited more global companies and tasted some of the interesting cuisines. It was a lot of fun. Finland is famous for its saunas. So you do have to go to a sauna when you're there, and you do have to dip in the cold, freezing Baltic Sea, which is one of the things that we did. It was pretty good, actually. Finland, the global residency is like, you get to learn about the companies, you get to learn what are their policies, what is ticking them right now. Like, is it like Tallinn is famous for its unicorns, the number of startups it does. And Finland is famous for its sustainability measures that it follows through. So I think most of these, you get to see how the companies are evolving themselves along their EU policies that are coming up, and what is that balancing, how they balance their culture. Like Finnish culture is pretty much very fascinating and unique. And I think you get to learn about all of that. One of the striking features is their deep connection to the nature itself. They have vast forests, lakes, and they are very outdoorsy for people, Finnish people, and then how they enjoy to play the balance between work-life balance. Pretty interesting to see how they are incorporating all of this in their companies too. Yeah, so it's been great. Global residency is like I don't know how others experience, and I'm sure Australia, India, all of those trips have been great too, but Finland has been the greatest.
Did you have a favorite company you visited on this global residency?
I do, actually. I do. I did like the company Fiskars. I don't know if you know, Fiskars is a scissors company. They've been making scissors for a very long time. They have acquired 14 other brands, and we met with their CEO and VP of Data Analytics. I did love that company. It was the first company we visited. I also liked one of the other companies. It's a startup in Tallinn called Skeleton Technologies. They are making the batteries with the graphene. It's a new technology that they're making, and they're trying to facilitate any of the storage systems, including our data centers. So that has been, I think their technology kind of is very intriguing to me. Did love all of this. And I can also say some more companies. There was Hermit, who is making modular designs. Very humble CEO, very down to earth. He has presented us given us a tour of the whole factory that they have. And I kind of got reminded of my grandfather's factory at that time. Hardworking people, very hardworking. And their values are, something that resonates with you throughout, I should say.
I appreciate that. You also mentioned a global client project, which is an elective that students can take typically towards the end of their second year in the Executive MBA program. It's an application-based course. You actually have to be selected to participate in a global client project. Can you tell us a little bit about the global client project you'll be participating in?
Yeah, it is a client project. The global client project that I am selected for is Edge Connects. And this is the project. It's an opportunity to consult with the client Edge Connects as a part of a larger faculty led project based course. The participants of this program, we build leadership and business skills in a truly global settings by working with the clients from different country and culture. Edge Connects, it provides a data infrastructure solutions for content providers and networks and cable operators. They are located in several locations. They have about 80 plus data centers built and in development globally, and growing the number of regional and large scale solutions. With the AI drive that is coming in, they are having a very unexpected growth. So I think what we are going to help them with is procurement and sourcing strategies, as well as how they can keep up with the AI. So I think it is Tim Lester is a professor who is leading it, and we are about two other classmates who are working along with Tim to see how we can deliver these data center solutions. And I think data center solutions are pretty much like, it's also power based. That is energy consumption is something that is closely associated. And I think looking at it from just not a regional perspective in Northern America, but it's also globally where Edge Connects has a lot of presence.
Yeah. Data centers have become somewhat controversial here in the DC area because of the power piece. Also, just people not necessarily wanting them in their backyard. It's actually become a bit of a hot button topic here because so much of the internet traffic in the U.S. Flows through Northern Virginia, Ashburn area in particular.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, that's where I live. When I came in 3 years ago, I saw a little bit of plain landscape. Now I see so many buildings here. Yeah, pretty curious to see where our data center world is going on, because with the AI drive, everybody is going really, I would say, a little bit, anticipating growth in every sector. Everybody wants to use the AI models. How are we going to allocate this? They've been built to a certain model. Now everybody wants more space in the same data center. And what are these data centers going to do? How are they going to expand? Do they need more land? They need more power? They need more sourcing? Who is going to keep up is the question. And I think it's going to be interesting next decade for us.
Well, Shilpa, I'm curious, what's been your favorite thing about the Executive MBA program thus far?
Oh my God, there are so many, Brett. What can you say? I wanted to say, I think the global residency was one of the favorites, but I also could not avoid saying LR1, the leadership residency one. It kind of is sitting in your head like that. It just cannot be avoided. It was a first time visiting Charlottesville for me, and it exceeded all my expectations. I think the beauty of the campus, meeting so many talented and inspiring classmates, experiencing the energy of the program really stood out. And it's like a runway lit for you when you're starting your MBA with the case revelations that happens. Very unforgettable aha moments, I should say. Every case kind of exhilarates you in a different way. You go in with one thought and you come out with another thought. You would never think, did I think like that in the beginning? And what is this happening right now? Very engaging and enriching experience it was. So I would definitely give it to LR1 100%. And I don't know how LR2 is going to hit me if you ask me later. Yeah, I'm thinking, I don't know how other people have answered this question for you. I'm very curious to see, was it the best LR1 or was it something else?
It really varies by student. LR1 does come up because it is the first thing that students do in the program. It's a 3 credit course you take at the very first week of school. You're meeting all your classmates, really as a full group for the first time. You're taking classes. It's a lot of buildup to pursuing your MBA. You mentioned you thought about this step for 5 years. So to finally have it start is a very powerful thing for people. It's a very full week, a lot of full emotions too. People are excited, maybe a little bit nervous. I think it tends to have a lot of impact for people, but we hear a lot about global residencies. We also hear a lot about classmates and just the people in the room and how that's really contributed to people's learning. It's gotten them outside of their company or their industry or kind of what they know about, and they're learning about all kinds of things just by virtue of being in the room and having case discussions with people.
Absolutely. I think each one of those has its definite value. I think the global residency, traveling to Finland and Estonia, seeing it firsthand on how companies operate on a global scale, exploring the new cultures was eye-opening, actually. The friendships that you build along this trip is also coupled with valuable insights, right? From visiting all these innovative companies, everybody's trying to start up something, everybody's trying to merge something, acquire something. So it's very memorable part of the program, actually.
Well, another sort of related question for you, Shilpa, is what's been the impact of the program for you when you look back? I mean, obviously you're entering quarter 8. You're not done with the program yet, but you're well over halfway there. What's been the impact of your time at Darden?
All the classes that I've taken, honestly, have been a great learning experience. So I think, economics, finance, marketing, entrepreneurship, they have changed my mindset. I think that's been a great impact. And I don't consider this as just a destination for me. I just consider this as a starting point in my life sometimes, even though I'm pursuing MBA much later in my life. But I feel like it's changed my mindset. The resources that program provides has given me a lot of opportunities to empower myself, which I have been sitting quietly all my life. I feel I'm like, what have I been doing? Why didn't I do this before? So that has been a great impact. There have been many cases, like I was saying, where I went into class with just a single thought that I had, hey, this is very simple. What is there to do about this, right? This is the way you do things. But I'm how amazed I am when I come out of it, considering everyone, what kind of you considering everyone? Are you listening to everyone? Your thought is entirely changed. You can never assume one way of thinking. I think that has totally impacted. And obviously, the time management part of it, I have never thought I can do this. I've never thought. Now I'm thinking, what am I going to do when the program ends? Where am I going to put all of this time? You know, I think that's been a great impact for me. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that point. I would say for many executive MBA students and alumni, the experience of being in the program really expands their notion of what they can do and what they can take on. And when you finish, you've got all this time back. And it's not uncommon to see people go do certificates and maybe think about doing additional programs, or how do they fill up, stay as busy as they were during the program because they got used to that kind of capacity.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally.
Well, last question for you, Shilpa. What's a piece of advice you would share with our prospective student listeners?
I guess if you're considering enrolling in an MBA to advance your career to pursue, just do it and discover pretty much the new side of you. Think of this, like I was saying, it's a starting point to a whole new bunch of opportunities, not just from an ROI or a title or career perspective. I would say just join the program, embrace the journey fully, both the challenges and the reward that it brings. An MBA, especially an executive MBA, can be very intense and demanding, but it's also incredibly fulfilling. So I think the Darden program allows you to explore all those things that you explored before from an individual or professional perspective. It's a unique combination of academics and the leadership development and the real world experiences with GR. I also want to call out to all the women who are considering pursuing an MBA. There is still a significant gender gap in executive leadership, and this is something that needs to be addressed. And so I encourage all the women to attend the admissions meetings that Brett puts together, and then there is a lot of skills and confidence that you'll bring in this. You'll learn and you'll build through this program, and I think it's necessary to bridge the gap that we are seeing in the leadership roles. I also want to say that I think there is a Forte Fellow sponsorship that works for women that I think Darden is in partnership with. I think it's committed to increasing the number of women in the business schools, and they're proud to offer this to the number of fellowships to an outstanding women who demonstrate exemplary leadership and commitment to women initiatives. Definitely encourage all of them to join, attend the admissions meetings. Yeah.
Yeah, Forte is a great partner to us across all of our MBA programs. We do have Forte fellowships that part of our sort of scholarship offerings for folks. I'll also note that we have pretty consistent programming throughout the year that's co-sponsored by our network of executive Women Student Organization, which is one of our oldest student organizations here serving professional degree students. It was originally focused on executive MBA. Now it includes part-time MBA as well. Great resource. It's for women. It's a community within the community, but they do a lot of things just getting people together, helping make connections, also there as a resource. So hopefully, I love that advice, Shilpa. Hopefully we'll see some folks come to our webinars and events. We do in-person class visits, also a great way to kind of experience what it's like to be an executive MBA student, have lunch with the current students, pick their brains about the experience. There's so many great ways to learn.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, Shilpa, thank you for your time today. It's great catching up, and best of luck with what sounds like a very full Q8.
Thank you, Brett. Thank you for having me. Thanks for the opportunity to chat with you. It's been amazing.
And that was my conversation with Shilpa Kyarla, a second-year student in our Executive MBA class of 2025. As always, if you have any comments, suggestions, requests, anything you'd like for us to cover here on the podcast, we're all ears. We can be reached at exec, that's EXEC, MBA at darden.virginia.edu. Until next time, stay safe, be well, and thanks for listening.